Social media, of course, has a very crucial and important role. I think what it primarily does is to create awareness, as I said, of Aura as a brand.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Hash It Out. We have Zenia here with us. Hi Zenia.
Hello.
So thanks for joining. We can start by having a quick intro about your current role and your experience.
Thanks for having me. In terms of my experience, I have 9 years of experience in marketing. This would range from various brands in various industries, from print media to real estate, education, and then retail. Currently, I work in the capacity of a marketing manager for Aura, which is Al Shaya's loyalty program. A little fact here, fun fact, I would say, is the Aura recently won the International Loyalty Awards for Best Retail Program in the region. Proud moment, obviously, for me and the team.
Definitely.
Um, in my role currently, I manage Aura as a brand. Of course, the CRM element of it, which is the relationship management across various channels. In the words of someone I recently interacted with, the description would be I'm a bit of a Swiss knife, although I am Indian.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
And how do you balance, like, okay, as you said, Swiss knife, it means you do many things. So how do you manage your time and like,
That is something that I am obviously working through. I think in this field, it's you have to be, I think, constantly reactive, as well as do your research of being in the know. But when it comes to day-to-day management of work, I think it's to prioritize what really needs your attention at that particular moment. As I said, this role that I'm currently in. Um, Varies from managing the marketing of Aura, which is the loyalty program for Al Shaya, managing that as a brand itself. And then, of course, it also serves as a umbrella for the portfolio of brands that Al Shaya actually has as a group. And then you just have to sort of like fluctuate between that and then manage obviously expectations of Aura as a brand, which is the loyalty program, and then Aura servicing the other brands, which are, big brands in themselves. Um, so yes, in terms of time management, still trying to figure that out. But I think it does add like a variety of experience, and it varies your day in that format. Yeah.
Okay, and as someone who manages the marketing for a loyalty program, what role does social media play when it comes to a loyalty program?
Um, Social media, of course, has a very crucial and important role. I think what it primarily does is to create awareness, as I said, of Aura as a brand. What is its offerings? What is the program proposition itself? And then what it does, take it a step further, is to create awareness of the brands that fall under this and what are their offerings, and how can they sort of um, meet you at your lifestyle needs as a customer. And most importantly, what I think that social media does is sort of create a community, which then sort of makes a certain product exclusive, and then does also help in creating sort of curiosity and in turn building acquisition.
Hmm. Okay, so you use it for the full funnel,
Yeah.
basically. Okay. And do you work with influencers, or where do you see influencers like fit in when it comes to a loyalty program?
We do partner with influencers frequently. Um, for the launch of the program, of course, that's when you have your broader campaigns and you want to create awareness. And that's when you tie up with those influencers that sort of match the value of your brand, of course. And then, of course, when it comes to like targeted marketing campaigns, depending on the period of the year, what kind of campaign that you're doing, that's when we go more targeted, and then use influencers in that format.
Mhm.
So, yep.
And when it comes to choosing influencers, you said someone that has to tie in with your brand. So how do you define that?
Um, So currently, the brand portfolio that Alshaya has is vast. There's 70 plus brands, that go on from food, wellness, beauty, apparel, um, and it goes through a different life cycle of a customer, right? So um, someone who's buying furniture is at a different life stage from someone who obviously would go in to buy denim. It could just vary.
Mm.
And accordingly, based on, as I said, the campaign that we're trying to launch at that particular point of time, it is to see people who tie in with those values. For example, if we're looking at more family oriented content, then you'd want to tie in with influencers that sort of match those values. If it is something more youthful and fresh, for those brands that we want to promote, then you have to tie in with someone who is more influential in that aspect. Again, there is no formula.
Okay.
So
It's more of like someone that people can relate to
yeah,
wherever they are in
yeah,
their life.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And if the rules of social media like change tomorrow and they go like, okay, you have one type of content that you have to stick to forever, what would you choose?
I think it would be more of a lifestyle storytelling format, definitely in, I think, video, in a video format, simply because I think through video you're able to get the message across in a more digestible, bite-sized way. And also, with lifestyle, you can do many things. You can show something candid as behind the scenes, or you can show tutorials that help a customer through their journey with you. So I think that would be like a forever thing.
Short format or long format?
Definitely short.
Okay. And if you had unlimited time, unlimited resources, you're not like a Swiss knife anymore, you can create as much content as you want. How often or how frequently would you post on social?
Unlimited is a beautiful word. Um, Definitely the aim would be to post daily, right? I mean, that is the only way that your brand would stay top of mind. It would also give you the opportunity to create diverse content, um, and stay relevant. So yeah, daily across all channels. That would be my ideal.
Okay. And which platform do you predict to grow the most or basically be on like under the spotlight in 2024 for the rest of 2024?
Rest of 2024. See, I mean, personally, my bets would be on TikTok. I think they're doing a great job of including elements that are currently a marketer's go-to in terms of their advertising formats, their e-com integrations. I think that's great. And also in terms of just the content format that they provide. Again, short videos, easily digestible, very relevant to a younger audience. So yeah, would be TikTok for me.
Okay. And how do you decide on how to allocate your media budget, whether it's a campaign or it's like ongoing media boosting? How do you choose how to allocate it?
Again, depending on the objective and the campaign at hand. I think media budget by default is allocated towards paid media and those channels, um, your content creation itself, and of course your influencer partnerships. Um, and then accordingly, as per the objective, you sort of tailor your spend, where you would want to put more money based on obviously the ROI for that particular campaign. But one thing that I think is important to do is also set aside a bit of your budget for experimentation. Because as I said earlier, this field of marketing constantly evolving. There's always trends to keep up to, and keeping aside this bit of your budget helps with trying out new content in different formats, of course, and also maybe if ever trying out new channels.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Okay, like last question, it's a bit personal, but what kind of content do you see the most on your own feed, like when you're just scrolling?
So obviously, apart from being a marketer professionally, I'm a full-time dog mom.
Okay.
So a majority of my content would be, dog related. Again, short videos or so. But then, of course, when it comes to professional upkeep, I do like to keep in touch with, industry trends. Something that would feature a lot on my feed would be, successful advertising stories. I really do love following those and keeping up with that. Um, and then maybe a mix of some fashion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any specific successful advertising story that comes to your mind right now?
It's not a successful advertising story, but something I recently read. Although it's quite old, but it really got me thinking. Was the brand refresh of Tropicana.
Mm.
They did all of their research at that point of time, and they spent like a lot of money to refresh their brand. But what they did not capture through their research was customer sentiment. And even though they spent millions on refreshing their brand, they lost that element that customers could relate to. And then overnight, they went back to their previous branding. So that for me was an interesting read that I came across recently.
Someone wasn't happy like with the feedback after they did that. Like someone internally got a lot of
Unfortunately, looks like it.
yeah. All right. That was great. Thanks a lot, Zenia, for joining, and thank you guys for watching.